At a glittering gala in Manhattan, Aisha Thompson, a Black woman who had risen to become CEO of Horizon Innovations, stood poised to seal a $500 million partnership with one of America's wealthiest families. But when the billionaire patriarch and his heirs mocked her in front of the elite crowd, Aisha made a decision that shook the corporate world. She walked away from the deal, proving her worth was not for sale. Aisha Thompson was 42, a woman whose name commanded respect in boardrooms across the country. Born in Atlanta to a single mother who worked 2 jobs, Aisha had climbed from modest beginnings to the helm of Horizon Innovations, a tech firm specializing in sustainable energy solutions. Her journey wasn't easy. She earned a scholarship to MIT, worked nights to pay for her MBA, and spent years navigating corporate spaces where she was often the only Black woman in the room. By 2025, she'd turned Horizon into a powerhouse, its innovations in solar and battery tech drawing global attention. Aisha was known for her sharp intellect, calm demeanor, and a relentless drive that made her a force in the industry. The deal in question was with the Warrington family, a dynasty built on real estate and finance, led by patriarch Edward Warrington, 68, a billionaire with a reputation for charm and ruthlessness. His children, son Charles, 40, and daughter Evelyn, 36, were key players in Warrington Enterprises, a conglomerate eyeing Horizon's cutting-edge battery technology to power their new luxury property developments. The $500 million partnership promised to catapult Horizon's tech into the mainstream, with Warrington's backing ensuring global reach. For Aisha, it was a chance to cement her legacy while advancing sustainable energy. Months of negotiations had led to this moment, a gala at the Waldorf Astoria, where the deal would be announced to investors, media, and New York's elite. Aisha arrived at the gala prepared. She'd spent weeks perfecting her presentation, knowing the stakes. The Warringtons had a history of dominating partnerships, often sidelining smaller firms like Horizon. Aisha was ready to hold her ground, her team's data and projections airtight. She wore a tailored navy dress, her hair in neat braids, her presence commanding yet approachable. The room buzzed with anticipation as she mingled, shaking hands with investors and exchanging pleasantries with industry leaders. Edward Warrington greeted her warmly, his smile polished, though his eyes lingered a fraction too long, as if sizing her up. The evening progressed smoothly. Dinner was served, speeches began, and Aisha took the stage to outline Horizon's role in the partnership. Her voice was steady, her slides crisp, detailing how Horizon's batteries would power Warrington's eco-friendly skyscrapers. The audience listened intently, some nodding, others jotting notes. Edward followed, praising Aisha's impressive work and Horizon's surprising innovation. The crowd applauded, and Aisha felt a surge of pride. The deal was moments from being sealed. Then came the Q&A session, moderated by Charles Warrington. Aisha stood beside Edward and Evelyn, ready to field questions. The first few were standard, technical queries about battery efficiency, timelines, and costs. Aisha answered with precision, her confidence growing. But then Charles leaned into the microphone, a smirk playing on his lips. Aisha, you've done well for someone from, Atlanta South Side? Must feel like a big leap to be here with us. The room went quiet, the air heavy. A few chuckles broke the silence, mostly from older men in the back. Aisha's smile tightened, but she nodded politely, redirecting to the deal's logistics. Charles wasn't done. No, really, he pressed, his tone patronizing. It's inspiring, you know? Someone like you making it this far. Did you ever imagine you'd be pitching to people like us? The word us hung in the air, a line drawn between Aisha and the Warringtons. Evelyn chimed in, her voice syrupy. It's just so refreshing to see diversity in action. You're like a walking success story. More laughter, sharper now. Edward said nothing, his silence louder than words. Aisha's hands clenched briefly, but she kept her composure, her voice even. I'm here because Horizon's tech is the best in the market. Let's focus on that. The questions resumed, but the tone had shifted. Reporters asked less about the deal and more about Aisha's journey, probing her background, her upbringing, her challenges as a Black woman. Each question felt like a jab, framing her as an anomaly rather than a leader. Charles and Evelyn leaned back, smirking, while Edward watched, his face unreadable. Aisha answered every question with grace, but inside, she was seething. She'd faced microaggressions before, but this was different, public, deliberate, and designed to diminish her in front of the industry's elite. After the session, Aisha excused herself to the restroom, needing a moment to breathe. She stood at the sink, staring at her reflection, her jaw tight. She'd worked too hard, built too much, to be reduced to a stereotype on a stage. The Warringtons had shown their hand. They saw her as a token, not a partner. The deal, once a milestone, now felt like a trap, tying Horizon to a family that would undermine her at every turn. Aisha made her decision then and there. She wouldn't let them define her worth. Back in the ballroom, she approached Edward Warrington, who was sipping champagne with investors. "Edward, a word?" she said, her voice calm but firm. They stepped aside, Charles and Evelyn trailing like shadows. Aisha didn't waste words. "I'm pulling Horizon out of the deal. Effective immediately." Edward's glass paused midair. "Excuse me," he said, his tone sharp. Aisha held his gaze. "Your family's behavior tonight made it clear we're not equals in your eyes. Horizon doesn't partner with those who disrespect us." Charles scoffed. "You're joking. You'll tank your company over a few comments." Aisha didn't flinch. "My company's built on integrity, not your money. We'll find other partners." Evelyn stepped in, her voice low. "Aisha, be reasonable. This is a $500 million deal. You walk away, you're done." Aisha smiled faintly. "I'm just getting started." She turned and left, her heels clicking against the marble floor, the weight of the room's eyes on her back. By morning, the news broke. Headlines screamed, "Horizon CEO cancels $500 million Warrington deal after gala clash." Social media erupted, with posts praising Aisha's boldness and others questioning her overreaction. Industry insiders were split. Some called her reckless, others hailed her as a trailblazer. Horizon stock dipped briefly, but Aisha was already moving. She called an emergency board meeting, outlining a new strategy: partnerships with European and Asian firms, plus a push into public sector contracts. Her team rallied, inspired by her stand. The Warringtons, meanwhile, faced backlash. Investors questioned their judgment, and a leaked video from the gala, captured by an attendee, showed Charles and Evelyn's remarks in full. Public opinion turned, with calls for accountability growing louder. Edward issued a vague apology, claiming miscommunication, but the damage was done. Warrington Enterprises scrambled to find another tech partner, but none matched Horizon's innovation. Aisha didn't dwell on the drama. She worked late into the night, emailing potential partners, refining pitches, and reassuring her team. Within weeks, Horizon secured a $300 million deal with a German energy firm, with talks underway for more. Aisha's phone buzzed with messages from young Black professionals, women, and entrepreneurs, thanking her for standing up. She didn't respond publicly. She didn't need to. Her actions spoke louder. Months later, at a tech conference in San Francisco, Aisha took the stage again. The room was packed, the audience hanging on her every word. She didn't mention the Warringtons or the gala. Instead, she spoke about Horizon's new projects, her vision for sustainable energy, and the importance of self-respect in business. The applause was thunderous. Aisha Thompson had turned humiliation into a defining moment, not just for herself, but for an industry forced to confront its biases. Horizon was stronger than ever, and Aisha, still calm, still relentless, was just getting started.